Welcome back. We are here for Hearts of Camelot Once and Forever, Episode 6, our finale. Oh my gosh. So, just to start, let's do a previously on and see what our players remember from last time, which was a heck of a lot. And I'll try to fill in any important blanks if there are any. Okay? Who wants to go?
I remember Sir Elio.
We're going to have trouble keeping our emotions in the appropriate manner because I keep on goofing up places. So keep going.
I remember Sir Elio running off to chase their one true desire, the unicorn, right? And tracking that down. And then involving, I think you leveled up, you know, and got a magical talking horse or something very spooky to me. Um, so I'm going to let you guys continue on that. But that was one thing that just stuck with me for the time away.
Yes, yes. Yeah, Sir Elio, the character had run off, and there was a very misty forest. Shapes came out and uh, attacked, and they were after whatever had possessed my steed. And There's a big fight. I emerged victorious. Um, Went back, found the steed again, and it took me to the unicorn, um, where whereupon I had to cross the river to swim the river to get to the other side to find the unicorn. Fortunately, as soon as before I could even say anything to it, I was saw that it was being attacked, roped, and someone hit me from behind, knocking me unconscious. For the other characters, I know there's a lot of conversation between Sir Granit and Ydelles, Ydell, and that there's talk of the gnomes possibly being able to move the banner of the Autumn Night. Uh, and I know Pallas, the servant, was the cost um, that was paid by Ydell to the gnomes. Um, and I'll pass it on to Chris.
Yes, there was a great deal of negotiating between the Autumn Knight, Sir Edel, and the trolls on the behalf of Sir Granite. There was a bunch of magic that happened. I don't actually remember what we ended up getting out of it or what we ended up promising them, which is unfortunate. I just remember the whole long process of actually working the magic to make this possible.
I just remember it. It was a very beautifully worded, descriptive scene, and I think I felt lost in the moment in it, and the connecting with I think the local gnome, and then having that gnome meet the gnomes that your character was more familiar with, and kind of I think I recall Adele as the on night, basically acting as host, like saying come together, eat, drink, sort of thing. I don't remember a lot of the specifics. Yes, Mads reminded me that I had the mossy pictorial TV on Edel's chest, including
Oh,
small
how could I
creatures and
forget
whatnot
that?
moving around to show us in cinematic form what was going on.
Oh, and we had that absolutely fantastic scene where Granite like accosted you for just doing this to yourself.
Yeah, it was
and
very
abandoning
like.
your quest.
Did you break your heart on that?
I did, or at least I
Yeah,
think I
there's
rolled too low
very
too, but that did happen.
yeah very emotional scene, pleading with who just this relentless like I must be a knight even though I'm not a knight guy. Um, he's so annoying. Um, and I remember Sir Elio having an amazing fight. It was really well choreographed, and the camera work was amazing. And then it ended with a little bit of a twist. I won't reveal that. I want someone else to talk about that. But yeah, what else? What else were we trying to remember here? What did we forget?
I will
That
say that the price paid, or at least to make good with the gnomes, at least how I interpret it, how to make good with the gnomes that had um, issue with Granit. I think he set up cairns on your property, your lands,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to kind of like, give that weight that was needed for the wolves to helping out with the
Mm-hmm.
wolves earlier in the quest, and then to come upon your lands and um, meet and deal with the gnome that was already in the house. I think the cost was Palace,
Mm-hmm.
and Palace
oh
got turned to
right.
stone.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. And she's just permanently a fixture of that part of the hall,
correct,
is my
correct.
Man, what a
understanding.
good
Yeah,
fucking session.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm going to say that since this is the beginning of session, you have a chance to change or rewrite your dilemmas and add or change your bonds, if any. And then again, just remember to
Mm-hmm.
aim for going for one of your dilemmas if that's the case, especially because it's like, this is our wrap up for this particular series. Okay. Um, and go ahead and break your hearts as much as you please. Hopefully, I will also be able to give you an opportunity to do battle or get into lots and lots of danger. That's the fun. That's the fun of this. All right, so let's see how we go. Just as a reminder, we do have safety tools on the table. X card, anything that needs to be X carded will stop play, check in on it, and then remove it from the game, and then progress on. Open door, if for whatever reason you need to leave the scene, just say that you're going to leave the scene, or if you need to leave the game, again, just let us know, and then we won't ask you why. And then, of course, the lines and veils, which we have. For lines, we have harm to pregnant people, homophobia, transphobia, intimate partner violence, sexism, sexual assault, and sexual violence. For veils, we have eye injuries, graphic injuries, gore, harm to pet domestic animals, racism, sexual content, slavery, slurs, and torture. And there is ask firsts on body horror, cannibalism, medical horror, and mind control. Okay? With interest still in religion, cults, and romance. Fantastic. All right, great. With that, any questions, or do you need a little bit of time to just rework your dilemmas? Good to go? Okie doke. So, I think we fade in, and we don't know it just yet because it's still black. But we hear things. We hear maybe the riding of a wagon, maybe wagon wheels turning, maybe there's the sensation through sound of being moved, and we hear squawks. And as the camera slowly opens, like, into like a blur, um, we see the parrot in a cage. and kind of fluttering around and squawking in its cage. And there looks to be a very big burly fellow, maybe one of the people that you fought, Sir Elio, or that you saw was lassoing the unicorn, in this wagon, because it's you, and you're feeling like you're laying on your back, and when the camera looks down, you can see your arms restrained with leather strapping, and then leather shackles on your wrists and on your ankles. And this big burly guy sitting there next to you, not looking at you, but looking towards the front of this, what looks like a carriage. And it's being driven somewhere. And big burly guy looks at you, grunts, and calls out to someone outside, knocking on the rapping on the top of the carriage. He's awake! And then, whoa! And then the carriage stops, or this covered wagon stops, and big burly guy leaves, and in comes Minister Vortimere. I would like to know a detail from each of you. This is the vizier, minister, however he's termed. He is considered second in command second in command to the princess, and to a lesser extent, the prince. And what detail does your character notice about him that puts you off? And Ydelles, you can definitely say a little bit more, because he is your nemesis.
Yeah, I don't think Ydelles realizes that this guy has it out for him.
Right, but I mean, something that...
Right. Yeah. So I think something that is off-putting when Ydelles is around is that Vortimere has this look of disgust. We see this take on, he probably has this courtly visage, but whenever Ydelles is around, it's almost like he's smelling like shit or something. It just offends him so much. He can't help but his face just kind of...
think the cape that he wears is so fine and dainty that it's dry rotten, it's moldy. He's so ill-equipped to be in the outside world that he just everything about him looks like a stiff breeze could just blow him over.
I think I think he uses some exotic oil, or some oil from some exotic land that has this very sharp, um, almost intoxicating scent to it, um, unpleasant scent, but still, heady, that sometimes makes it difficult to concentrate if you're in his presence too long.
I'm grinning because you're giving me a detail that feeds right into what I'm thinking. Sorry. I think you smell him before you see him, Elio, because it's that heady, unpleasant, rich smell that covers up, I'm sure, a multitude of sins. And I think you start to cough, even as you're restrained. And he comes in wearing his. They look to everyone else very, pardon, very embroidered, very gilded, and just expected finery for a man of his position. But I think Granit's otherworldly senses allow him to at least sense that there's something rotten in this state of Elsevier. And yeah, you remember this smell because you're already like concussed. I mean, maybe your vision's still a little bit blurry, but again, you smell him before you see him, and then you recognize that very distinct silhouette when he comes in. His hair is kind of not a pompadour, but I mean, like it is styled very specifically for him, so it looks like there's a bell curve from top of his head to the tip of his hair, going down to his shoulders. And so then you hear his voice. Ah, you're awake, Sir Elio. Beautiful. Let me get settled and we can go on. And he raps back at the carriage, and then the carriage starts moving again. He takes the seat next to you. He looks at you, and then he looks back at the parrot, who just kind of squawks at him. And I think even you can sense that the parrot is unnerved by him, because the parrot has, like, his feathers all fluffed up, like he's trying to hide within them, and not not speaking, not talking, just squawking. And how fares your quest?
Unfinished, but things should be done soon.
Yes, things should be done soon. That's one of the things, and he leans in. That's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about. Have you considered that perhaps your companions may not be the best for your advancement in Her Royal Highness's ranks? Have you taken that into consideration?
Have you considered that when I kill you, you will be buried in an unmarked grave in a sackcloth?
Oh, such unknightly speech. Who would have thought of it from a nature-loving... well, neither here nor there. But, just take it into consideration. I mean, perhaps maybe you could go back to the court and just provide evidence that you have seen the unicorn.
Where is the unicorn?
Safe. For now. Fine things will be done, my boy. And sometimes you just need to know who will be there for the festivities. I see that the Golden Heart is no closer to being apprehended, and this chase for the unicorn is, well, not going so well at the moment. So, you may want to consider again, your choice of companions may not be the best for your upward mobility.
If by chance you should meet one of my companions again, I think you will be sorely vexed at what has become of Ydelles.
And pray tell, what has become of Ydelles?
So I'm trying to figure out how much he knows. Um, then you do not know of recent events.
I know the leaves have changed. Luckily, that hasn't stopped our search or tracking of the great unicorn. And with it, we shall make sure we secure the golden heart. You are already knighted, so that is not a worry. But again, think of the glory that would happen if you brought back the golden heart for Her Royal Highness. Their Royal Highnesses would be so proud and ready to welcome you into the higher tier, the higher bosom of their power.
Does she know of your treachery?
Treachery. I serve only the princess.
Can I do a roll just to see if
Sure, go for
how
it.
much of that is true, or if it's true in a twisted way,
Yeah, go
or
for it. I love it. I love it. Go
uh,
for it. What would you like to roll?
right? Um, let's see.
I mean, always gain insight is always one.
Right.
You're not necessarily in a position to do battle right now. So,
No.
yeah. So
Yeah,
please.
I think it would be gain insight.
Okay.
Uh, right. So we well, okay. I'm just gonna. Given that this parrot's not, obviously there's something supernatural about this parrot.
Hmm.
Is there anything that I can leverage to get some clue from it as I talk, whether it gives me some signal or senses something about?
Interesting. Oh, I like that. Hold on. Let me see. Let me look at your moves for half a mo. Understand birds and bees, converse with them. Rolls. Okay. Now, this is specifically if you're talking to them. However, I'm I'm just gonna like mess around with some rules. If you want, you can still get a +1 from this particular move because when you talk to Vortimere, I'm going to say if you take a look over at the parrot will do some squawks and you'll be able to understand the parrot without
Okay.
without him actually talking like, you know, regular English.
Okay.
So, yeah, so we
Cool.
can do it that we can finagle it that way if you'd like.
Sweet. Yeah, I'd like that. All right. An 8.
Great. Misfortune, but great. All right. So, whoops. Elio 8. All right, so I'm going to say that specifically what do you narrate that you say to try and get a little bit more information from Vortimere?
Oh yeah, so I was, going on like, does the princess know about your treachery?
Mhm.
She would never, she would never be behind the sacrilegious way you've treated the unicorn. or how you sent a knight to be to fail.
His next words are about how tracking the unicorn is just a means to an end. Because if it doesn't necessarily matter who gets the golden heart first, it's just a matter of someone getting the golden heart. And the unicorn is the key because of this great battle that somehow he knew that they were going to have. And he's talking about some special properties by way of the unicorn that he's been utilizing all this time. And so it's a win-win for everyone that is involved, on his side at least. And the parrot will squawk at you and say, like, just kind of squawk, like getting like looking agitated in his cage, but then you understand his squawks as unicorn horn, poison. What?
Interesting.
I'm going to say you make a little leap of understanding.
All right.
Remember, the prince was sick.
Right. Right.
And so, misfortune.
Already in a lot of misfortune.
What do you say to him when he reiterates it's a win-win for everyone? On the right side, of course. Will you be on my side, Sir Elio? Will you be the one to bring in the golden heart and bring glory to the princess? And the prince, of course.
There is no path before you that you can walk that will not end in your failure. I will not stand by you, ever. If I were at death's door and you had the blade to my neck, I would not join you.
Faster than you see, somehow he whips out what looks like a ritual knife and does hold it to your neck and say, well, that's unfortunate. Tell me, where is Ydelles? And maybe I will offer your body near death's door. On his doorstep. Where is he? And we're gonna cut over to the manor. Cairns are built. The gnome of the house is, again, I think you, in each in your own way, like Ydelles, like, you know, with his autumn night senses, and of course Granit with his, like, you know, affinity with stone and rock and earth. You know, you hear the activity, you hear them commiserating and then just being like, you know, the manor house gnome is overjoyed, like, you know, having companions again. And of course, like, you know, the other gnomes are business as usual and just like, you know, making their way across Ydelles' lands to figure out where they want to kind of put a stake in, you know, like trying to figure out where they want to settle or, like, you know, help out with the manor house gnome. Just out of curiosity, what do each of you hear to indicate, or like that you get the sense of there's going to be great things happening with the house and the grounds because of the meeting of the gnomes?
I think Ydelles hears what's new to him as his senses change is like, I think there's almost like a shifting of, I don't know if it's the tectonic plates, like something ground is shifting. Not just like metaphysically, but actual, like there's some actual shifting going on. So like hearing that and having, when it moves, having it speak in like a chorus that he can't yet understand.
I think Sir Granit, being much more accustomed to the tongues of the earth, hears, I mean, above the workmanlike chatter, above the parting and parceling of land, above the shifting of stone, there is an ever-present, jewel-bright weeping from the gnome of the house in relief, as with each parcel, each brick lifted and given to another gnome, his burden is lessened. And much like someone who has been holding the weight of the sky for so long, you can hear his bones creak as he stands straight for the first time in centuries, if not more.
I think he calls out to you. I think he calls out to you, Sir Granit. I think he, in his ponderous way, he no longer sounds weak or wispy. He has some weight, some strength and weight to his tone now as he stands up and stretches within the rock of this house and the grounds, now that he has room and now that he has those that can help him. Sir Granit, this has been a boon to me. What do you need? What do you want in return?
Nothing you can give me, I'm afraid. Consider it a kindness.
A rumble. Pleasant, actually. Please, while you are here, let me know if there is anything you need. I will be glad to serve. You get the impression of this gnome taking a kneel, as if in respect, and means it. I mean, down to the core and the grind of his being.
Sir Granit will kneel likewise.
What do you
I
do
shall
now?
bear this in mind. I may have need of something solid yet. For now, rest. Beg of you, rest. If you do nothing else, rest.
So long. I will. But remember to call on me when needed.
And what shall I call you, if such a time comes?
No one has asked me my name in so many millennia. forgot. I can't ask you for another gift. But if you will, gift me a name. While you're thinking on that, I'm going to head over to Ydelles.
Oh no, I've got one.
Oh, okay.
How do you feel for Moss Heap?
Moss heap. Yes. Yes. That will serve. Rest. And it's almost like you hear like a distinct downturn, like a quieting rumble. And then in the absence of this rumble, you start to hear birds. What time is it? Is it verging on the evening? Is it nighttime?
I think it is nearing sunset, but not quite. I think it's like the sun is obviously to one side, but it's not yet begun to shift color in the sky.
Okay. Ydelles, where do we find you after this agreement and after the gnomes start getting settled on your grounds during this end of sunset into twilight?
So Adele kind of comes out of a trance from experiencing the shifting of the ground, feeling it alive beneath. And for a moment, feeling not just that piece of ground, but the chain, the network of land connected to it. I think there's a glimmer in his strange new eyes. And I think he gives a sort of deep, musty chuckle and says to no one in particular, but yet to the realm around him, I think an unwise plan is forming within. And I wonder if Sir Granit and his gnomes may be able to assist. And so Ydelles kind of almost like sweeps away, almost like he's walking, but it's almost like he's just kind of moving across the territory. And he goes looking for Sir Granit.
You will find me in the chapel adjacent to the Great Hall.
Okay. So I think when he gets to the walkway, the human walkway, the stones, he like steps onto it and begins walking like a normal person would. And you can hear, his steps. And given that he gave up his former knightly armor, like he's probably like, he sounds like trees and grasses moving, like the sounds of nature. And so I think he gets outside the chapel and he calls within, Sir Granit.
Aye, sir.
I wish to ask of your wisdom in perhaps completing this quest in a speedy way. Should we find the heart, I would like to present it to the princess as requested. But I believe I never mentioned that they would be able to keep it. And
Already
all
its magic
that
sets
is
root in your mind.
yeah, he is definitely more crafty than before. uh, so yes, mortals may glance upon the beauty, the wonder that is wild, but they truly cannot possess it. And so my request is to discuss options to either bring a piece of this land, this keep with the heart, to them, or to bring them here temporarily, possibly moving part of the castle via stone through the great network of the land. Is this something that can be done?
No. I regret to inform you that none but I have ever gained passage rights across all stone. The land is far too tightly held by its inhabitants.
I wonder then. The green of this land connects to the green of their land as a root system. I would be willing to bear this burden, to bring them at the edge to view the heart.
I must admit, you've caught me off guard. This is somewhat beyond my knowledge.
I think as you are talking, I think, Ydelles, you are seeing and sensing like wagon wheels approaching. You feel like multiple carts, or what? You're getting the impression of a caravan of sorts approaching. And then they kind of stop at the edge of like the manor house, like land. I can't remember if I described a gate last time, but anyway, like at the far edge of the gate, perhaps you hear someone distantly calling, "Bertolac! Bertolac! Let us in! This is the agreed upon meeting! Bertolac! It's me, Vortimere!"
So we have guests that I must attend to.
Are they known to you?
Well, I believe one of them has identified themselves in a name familiar to me, Vortimere.
You all know Vortimere, by the way.
Right. I don't know if that's like the only Vortimere in the world.
True. True.
Yeah, but you would know.
I think
that
as soon
one.
as it's that one. He smells funny.
Yes.
I could smell him from here.
Probably.
um, yeah, I think there's a pause by Ydelles and says, it would appear that at least one has journeyed from court already. Vortimere, counselor, advisor to the princess and at court.
I may speak brashly. I don't trust it. He's far too weak to have made such a treacherous journey alone.
It is unkind to speak ill of the old. And I think for a moment, like Ydelles' face, like kind of restores back more towards a human appearance. Like Ydelles is chastising his friend for even saying something bad about someone.
Always the night. Oh my god, breaking me.
Always the night.
Breaking me. Okay. So
But I must go meet with him.
interesting. How do you meet with Vortimere at the edge of the gates? How do you present yourself, Ydelles? And Granit, do you go with him?
Oh, but of course.
So so like the former host of Lord of the Land was being addressed, who's not here. So I think like this is more of the knight than of Ydelles. I think like the plants and things like change around him and put on like an overcoat of plants so his features are obscured. So without, really studying him, you might think it is the former lord. And he has, what did we say it was? It was like a hammer with a blade on one side and like a spike,
Yes.
all like organic-y. Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's got that instead of the axe. That's staying as it is now.
And do you glide in a mysterious manner, or do you actually walk?
I think he's walking along the path, like the stone path. Just take like if it would be faster to cut across the lawn, he doesn't do that. He just walks like how a human respectful of the territory would be. And he just takes his time, like no big deal.
Gotcha.
And just eventually shows up at the gate.
Okay. I have to ask, Sir Granite, are you alongside your friend, or do you do like a fun, like I'm gonna dip into the stone and then I'm gonna pop out the other end by the gate?
I think since Sir Elio or Ydelles has like taken pains to disguise himself, I'm not gonna walk out and like ruin what he's got going here.
Okay.
So I will like I'll walk with him until we get into sight range, and then I'll like trail behind and hide.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So yes, I think as you approach the gate, Ydelles, and it probably looks like you're alone in your obscured robes, armor, helmet, however you think that you have changed yourself. I think you will see, again, it's a caravan. It is several carriages. Vortimere is standing off to the side. I mean, normally he would probably like be in one of the carriages himself, but of course, like, since he's friendly with Sir Bertilac, as you can imagine, he is at the gate, and it looks from behind him like, horse-drawn carriages, like, like big wagons, to house people. So you don't see anybody else except for like the wagon drivers. And then there is a bigger wagon that looks like it could house a large animal, but you don't know what's inside.
Mm-hmm.
You might, but ask you to roll for that.
I think I do want to roll, like, I think I do want to roll to kind of get an impression of anything beyond just the obvious here, if that's okay. So
Yeah,
gain
no, please.
information, I think.
Gain
Yeah,
insight. Yeah.
gain insight. Yeah.
Do you have
Let's see.
anything that you want to use towards this? Like any kind of move or.
I don't know that I do. Let's see.
Or a dilemma or something like that.
I mean, one of these dilemmas, if I really reach, might be because Vortimere was there when I made the promise. So, I mean, I think Ydelles could be thinking innocently that Vortimere is following up to see how things are going, offer some supplies and help, right? Like from like the princess said, "Oh, it's a harsh winter. Why don't you go check on him?" So I think in that kind of naive sense of Ydelles, that might work. What do you
Is
think?
he saying anything? That would be the first thing.
Oh no, not right now. I think
Okay.
he's going out there and he's looking kind of with Ydelles and also the senses from the Autumn Night, getting
Yeah.
a lay of what I think the Autumn Night part of him is definitely being more cautious. Ydelles was just sort of
Sure.
like, I'm just going to go over there and see my good friend, the minister.
Yeah. Go ahead and tell me what your role is.
Okay.
This would be with, I think it's wisdom. Yeah, wise.
Yeah.
Sorry.
If only Sir Elio were here. All right, let's roll that. Come on, come on, come on. I got my first failed roll.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
I finally get to mark experience.
God,
Failing a
would
roll.
you wait, what'd you get? Tell me what you got.
Oh, I did not get 2 1s. That would have been really awesome. I got
That
a.
would be
Hang on. My dice roll went away. I got a 1 and a 3, so 4.
okay. Oh
I
damn.
wish I'd gotten two. I wish I gotten snake eyes, but oh well.
Okay, so yes, Mark XP. Woo! A failure and you receive misfortune. No duh. Hmm. Oh boy. Hmm, hmm, hmm.
Krista, you're raising your hand for the
No,
teacher.
no, I'm just
Okay.
leaning against the wall because my shoulder's stiff.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, you're not leaning against one of those trees.
okay. Hold on. Oh god. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the misfortune is is going to be pretty apparent very, very soon because of your failure. You want to be cash about it. You're not going to let on about it. But I think when you come into like some kind of light, I mean, maybe there are like torches lit or something like around here or something. He.
Yeah, I think man-made torches definitely. Like maybe one of the dri- drivers has gotten off and has brought a torch closer, more for Vortimere than for anyone else, and that human-made light is affecting things.
Yeah. Because he starts to have a strange look on his face, like, wait, why? Why are you wearing that? Where's your greenery? What? What? Looks like you're changing of the seasons. What's this? This is not you. And in fact, I'm actually surprised you've walked. Usually you're gliding on the grass or something strange. You look different. What?
I think what happens, I think also to lean into this, is that the Ydelles part is like taking over more.
Mm-hmm.
So the naivety is kind of seeping in, and so like Ydelles like does like the courtly bow to a minister, especially since he's not a knight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think at that point, like the hood falls away, and then when he comes up, you can see that he looks more like Ydelles at this point. And he's like,
What?
Minister Vortimere, it's a pleasure to see you. Thank you for visiting all this way.
What are you doing here? I mean, the pleasant features now start to get twisted up as he sees you, and it's like you can see the change. Like first he was like, surprised, and then like questioning, and then now it's like it's almost like this is the look of disgust again that you see on his face.
And I think that
What are
takes
you
Ydelles.
doing here? Where is
Yeah,
my friend Sir Bertilac? Where
oh,
is the Green Knight?
about that, sir. And I see this picture where Ydelles is like fairly tall, and this guy's probably not very tall, but Ydelles is very much being deferential here, and he's like, about that, sir. Funny you should ask. Well, the other day, myself and my companions who are on this quest that we are very close to completing, sir, in which we happen upon, well, anyways, one thing led to another, sir, and I helped relieve Sir Bertilac of his burden.
Relieve the Green Knight of his burden.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly does that mean? He's getting more agitated as you're
Oh
talking.
yeah, so I think Ydelles just kind of casually pulls out his warhammer and whips around and plants the end on the ground. It's like, well, it would appear that I am taking over in his place. Isn't that
Complete.
strange, change of the seasons, as it were?
You are the lord of this banner now? Is that
Yeah,
what I'm
yes, but I
giving to
don't.
understand?
But I don't like to stand. Lord is such a big title, sir. Would you like to come in and have some refreshments, and your men can rest? And whatever burden you've brought with you, we can of course find a space for it on the land.
Yes, yes, let's do that. You would need, of course, and he's looking up and down at the gate, you would need, of course, to let us in, Adele.
Of course, of course.
And I think from here, you will. Several things are happening as you open up the gate. First, you hear the squawk of the parrot, a very agitated squawk. And then you hear the neigh, a very distinct neigh of something that is not one of the regular horses.
I think Ydelles neighs back, like in his really bad imitation of a horse.
Elio, it's like you hear this neigh, this very bad neigh. What do you do? Oh, you're on mute.
I'll do the bird whistle that that I that we do.
Oh,
I
fuck.
th- I think like just as about everyone's about to pass through, uh, the autumn night says, "Hold." It was very stern.
Who are you to tell us to hold, Adele? You are not even a knight.
I am now the autumn night, and you will treat me with the respect earned of this land, or
Oh,
you will
really?
really.
Ah.
And you will release Sir Elio, Knight of the Realm, or you will not leave this land alive.
Neither will you. If
One
I.
could argue, one could argue that I am not alive anymore.
don't know how you did this. I don't know how you displaced the Green Knight from his duty to this particular plot of land, or how you claim to be the Autumn Knight now in his stead. But a battle is coming, and you have no idea what you are doing here. I would suggest that you let us by. You let us stay. Otherwise, it could mean very terrible consequences for not just you and your friends, but also the princelings that you left behind. And their land. And what is in their land, perhaps. Maybe a precious stone. To you. To all of us. And I would be very, very careful about offering up any kind of intimidation when I have still the cards. And I think at this point you will feel, Sir Elio, I think you'll feel the point of a knife in your neck as one of the toughs that was left in the carriage with you will kind of like, peek your head out of the window, but then also peek his head out of the window, showing that, they've got you. Any sudden moves against me or my retinue, Sir Elio, will be the first cost.
Minister Vortimere, what is the penalty for threatening a knight of the realm?
Given what I have to say, none of this may even matter at all. The realm, as you speak of it. I think we're just going to cut there for right now and then definitely go to break.
Yep.
Let's do 10 minutes and then we'll come
Okay.
back to this incredible scene. All right, 10 minutes. Yeah, so Vortimere has threatened your friend and has him in custody. So, and
So I think the Autumn Knight says, well, since it appears you know a great many things more than I, and you do have someone more worthy of respect than you in your company, please bring you and your company within my grounds, and I will host you, as is my custom. And I think, we see the gates open, and, the invitation is obvious from the land and others.
and he'll get that snooty look on his face. He doesn't get near you, but he kind of does that motion to wave his entourage or what have you in. I mean, again, you see several covered wagons of a sort, like big carriages and such. I mean, and Elio is still there at knife point with the big, one of the big burly guys. And then you don't see too many of the other ones because they may be in the other carriages. And then, of course, a bigger wagon covered over that looks like it could house like a large animal. And maybe you do hear the faint whinny or stamping of something rather equine in it. And then, some supply wagons as well, following.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
close up the gates and follow them in.
Just so you know, we will expect full hospitality, as I am accustomed to from the Green Knight. And any untoward actions towards my party or myself will mean the quick expiration of your friend.
And just so you know, guest, you must also respect and honor the traditions here. And that means if you kill Sir Elio, you, your men, and all of your bloodline will be eradicated from this existence.
So we have an understanding then, Ydelles.
But of course,
But of
Minister.
course. And he turns his snooty profile back up, and I will make my way to my usual room, of course, as my men will spread out on the manor, taking guard, of course, and watching over.
Just for your own information, since I have taken ownership here, some things may not be as expected. New management and such. Good day.
Good night, Ydelles. He almost like kind of snarls that at you as he's like makes his way to where he thinks his room is. Hopefully it's like relatively there. He's just kind of looking around, and then like he actually stops where Palace is, like in the grand foyer, and
yeah,
and
he's
like
probably expecting Palace to come out and like bring him something.
Yes,
that he
exactly.
gets.
Like he just has this horrified look on his face, but then he just like covers it up and then just goes on, and then he will call out to his
up in his room.
I want his room to have a 4-poster bed equipped with 4 knights hanging from the bed.
Oh my god, you're gonna give him that room. Fantastic, fan-fucking-tastic. Okay, great. Because basically what what I'd like to do is, like, we can spend this night phase of a sort, and then like you guys can have scenes like if you want to try to plan something or what have you. But I mean, just know that he Vortimere is going to not only like call upon one of the guards to be his valet or whatever, but he's also going to order them to take Elio in the company of like 4 of them and bring them to where he knows Bertilac had a holding cell in one of the rooms. So, yeah.
We'll see what that room is now.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, it's fine. But again, there's going to be like, 4 big dudes like watching over Elio. And I don't know if I mean, obviously, like, Elio, you have to get out of the cart, the carriage or whatever with the one tough, like, like literally threatening you over your shoulder. But do you say or do anything when you see Ydelles?
Oh,
They do have you in the shackles. Like it's kind of like the shackles are still on your wrists and your legs, but they're like released, and they're like straps with a bit of chain, intermittently on
mhm.
them, and then like they've essentially got like still in that sense of you can walk and you can move, but they have control over your over the straps.
Yeah, I'll say give them nothing. They, they have the unicorn, they want the stag.
Go, move on. Shove off. Come on. And then you're immediately surrounded by three others as they make their way to this holding chamber.
I think Adele, more as the autumn night, has this sort of neutral expression at that, almost like he's seeing or listening to something beyond Sir Elio at that point.
But
But
do you
his
give him
eyes
an...
do follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you gave him any other signal that you hear and you're
Yeah, I think
thinking.
I think that there's a look in his eyes, like, okay.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, so the valet person is taking a big crate or chest up with um, Minister Vortimere, and then, like, just making their way to the rooms and such. So, yeah, what is Sir Granit doing? Has Sir Granit, like, made known his presence in any way? Or are you waiting until
Not yet.
all the guards are, like, out of the room?
I am waiting for specifically Sir Elio to be alone or close enough for even a moment.
Gotcha, gotcha. So, yeah, let's like fast forward into a scene where they have found some kind of room. Um, yeah, as you say, like, new management has changed things around, and they don't necessarily know that it's the gnomes, obviously. Uh, so let's say that they have you in a cell, Sir Elio. Big um, oak door with maybe the barred window, like, small window at the door. Lock, padlock. And then the four toughs that have been tasked to watch you or to keep you from, yeah, being accosted by your friend. Yeah, they're in there. They're, like, taking turns, like, either just hanging out, or they're on watch, or they're tossing dice, playing cards, something. Yeah, but they're all there,
Mhm.
like, around your cell door.
Okay.
Oh, and like, to add insult to injury, the parrot is there, still in the cage, but has been hung up, like, where you can't see the parrot. I think you're getting an earful because it's just squawking, and, like, one of the jailers or whatever is just kind of like slaps the cage a little bit. Shut up! What is the parrot saying to you?
Uh, uh, I miss Sir Bertolac. Uh, uh, mm, but everyone receives the fate they deserve at the end. Uh, so be patient, knight.
Okay, cool. That's about as alone as Elio's gonna get, Sir Granite. What do you do?
Pop out of the presumably stone wall behind him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, let's do that move, because
I don't
that's
think
one of
this
your...
counts as epic magic. I think this is a different.
Oh, no, you have a move. You have a
I
move for
do.
this. Yes, I'd like you to use it, and let's see. Basically bound with an element, standard classical element, yada yada. Immune to harm caused by a selected element. You roll with agile to magically enter the element substance and then emerge from the same kind of substance in another location. So please roll with agile.
Which is +1 for me.
Okay.
Let me see. I believe so. Yes.
Yes, that is true.
Which is good because that is a 6 on the dice plus 1.
Okay. Okay, so you succeed in what you want to do. There's going to be a complication or misfortune of some sort, but I'll let you do what you want to do first, and then I'll let you know what happens.
Well, I think what I want to do is just make this move again, but this time with Sir Elio.
Oh boy. Huh.
I believe I can do that.
I think that's going to require. I'm trying to remember if I had done that for someone else. I had to use my epic move. I had to use sorcery for that, so I'm going to have you use sorcery as well.
All right. Sorcery's kind of a hassle.
It's not meant to be easy. It involves a considerable amount of risk. This just mechanizes it a lot.
All right.
I'm going to say that the 7 will be the misfortune that you cannot do this and you only have enough time to talk to Sir Elio before one of the guards, like, actually, like, gets up off their duff and, from
Yeah.
dicing and cards and actually, like, looks into the cell. What's the max number of people Sir Elio has bested on their own? Interesting.
Versus.
I mean, there was that really cool like action scene
Yes.
last session.
Yes, there
So I'm like
was.
wondering if Sir Elio's gonna like take them all out. We'll see.
We'll
We'll
see.
see.
Okay. All right. So anyway, yeah, that's gonna be the misfortune that you can't do something that complicated with the way the setup is because somebody's gonna be coming in and looking in on him um, at a fairly regular interval. So
Versus Cold Iron.
yep.
Well met, brother. How do you fare?
I I live. I live, but it's good to see
Likewise. And what of your query?
you. The unicorn is here. I saw it, but it's currently held. I don't know what this the minister wishes. It's it's the stag that he wants most, but I don't know what he plans.
Troubling indeed. What say you? Unfortunately, the minister is more canny than he seems. I cannot free you of these chains with magic. You must suffer the indignity of at least a night in this cell, but I promise you, I shall free you as soon as I am able.
Can you bring a sword to me?
I've one right here. Take it. And he will like loose his scabbard from his belt and just present it to you.
I'll take it. You have the jangling of the shackles, the chains, rather. Uh, all right, not sure how to do this. If only I had Adele's strength. All right, I'll take it. Thank you. I'll bide my time for now.
Very well. I'll see what I can do about the unicorn.
Thank you.
And with that, I will simply walk out.
At this point, there's a face at the door saying, "Shut up! Done talking to yourself."
Go back to your dice.
Doing better out here than you're doing in there, I'm sure. And, yeah. What does Ydelles do once Vortimere goes to his room and everybody's made their way to where they're going to go? They've stowed away the unicorn with guards, of course, and they've stowed away Sir Elio with guards and such. And of course, there's guards upstairs with Vortimere. So, question: did we say something about how there was like kind of like a skylight in the manor, and like there was the ability for the night sky to shine in, or was that not a detail? I'm remembering a different game. It is possible.
You said that there was
I
the sunlight was weird. I don't
Yes.
remember. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe like, you know, then the night sky is still somewhat visible as well as somehow, because I'm gonna say that if you're in the Great Hall, like contemplating everybody having, you know, left the Great Hall, I think that there's a strange light, starlight, that shines on
Mm,
Palace's statue.
yeah. That definitely catches Adele's attention, and he walks to the statue in awe, carefully, as if almost like he doesn't want to disturb the statue. He's being very careful. And he just sort of whispers, Alice? Aurora?
There's a shimmer by her hand, the hand outstretched. There's a shimmer in the statue's eyes. There's a shimmer maybe down by the feet or, you know, in the hair. And, you know, when you ask Palace, um, there's a whisper that kind of shimmers away from the statue and then kind of blows um, night fresh air into your face as you hear, "Not Palace. Come out. Come see me."
Adele goes, doesn't even pause.
How far do you go out? I mean, you see the cairns like on different
Um,
spots of your land.
I think, unless it's like, is it obvious that the light is shining to a particular spot? Because I think he would try to go high, go up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So probably to the top of the structure. So you
sure.
climb outside a window and just be at the tallest whatever, just to be close.
Yeah. I think think if this manor house is built, or even like, you know, like it has shifted the way I think it's shifted, you see it's like a battlement or a tower that opens
Mm-hmm.
up into the night sky, like accessible
Mm-hmm.
by a set of stairs, winding stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And what here, paint the scene, what here in this open battlement makes you think that this has not been here the whole time, but this is a manifestation because you are now the lord of the manor?
Hmm.
Paint the scene for everyone.
Yeah. So I think that this sort of stairway is actually, in one light, definitely looks like stairs. But another light, it just looks like twisted, like tree roots that go up, seemingly to nowhere. But I think from a distance one, it just looks like some overgrown tree that died or something, or it just looks odd maybe. But I think to him, he sees this as like a stairway, potentially to Aurora.
What else do we see here that indicates this is a manifestation because of Ydelles?
And I think the autumn of the palace is sort of a misnomer, or the new. I think what Ydelles has mainly brought is actually a chill wind from the north, and this has caused the green to respond accordingly, and that has caused the autumn, rather than Ydelles himself being some kind of, autumn aligned individual.
Sir Elio, anything?
So what is it that we're just looking for detail about why we think this wasn't here before, or
Correct. It is
does
specifically a manifestation because of Ydelles' evolution into the autumn night.
we're talking about the tower or the
Yes,
stairs?
the open battlement. Yep.
Okay. Mm, um, I I I think maybe like the crenelments look like a giant's hand, stone. Um, so yeah, yeah. Mm.
Very nice. Yeah, and I think the starlight leads you up here, and you see the intermittent shimmers hinting at a hand reaching for you, or like hair that has flowed from shoulders that you cannot see, but a smile that is very bright, just like starlight.
Just wanders as close to it as he can get.
You are so far away. I can barely speak to you here, but yet you are closer than you've ever been to me in this way. What have you done?
Aurora, I've been rash. Self-actualization. Um, and he says, "There's nothing more than wanting to be with you for eternity, and I do hope that will happen. In the meantime, there is something in the land that I hope I can help with. I hope I can help the people. I hope I can, not just the kingdom, not just my companions, but something greater than myself. And I'm willing to sacrifice a great deal for that. And I would not hate you or think unwise of you if you were to turn from me because of this. It may cause us not to meet, but know that I am true to you, and that once this last quest is done, that I hope to be able to journey to your side.
You see a shimmer that looks, in this light, very much like a transparent, shimmering hand reaching for you, as if waiting for you to grasp as well.
Ydelles does the same.
And then you'll see the fingers close upon yours, and she says, very close to your ear, "But this that you do here is forever, unless you can find someone just like the Green Knight to take your place. No one will do it now. When will it happen? Not even you can know."
I do not know. I do not know, and it breaks my heart to leave us like this.
The wind is cold here, but yet there's heat. Some kind of heat, like breath, upon your cheek. Do you know, Heartbreak? You are far from me. I'm gonna call for endure heartbreak at this point because I think this is pretty hefty.
Yes. I think this is it. All right. Okay. So for endure heartbreak. Okay. No. There it is. Okay. Okay. Tell the MC what you'll do if you lose control.
Mm-hmm.
And then roll plus unfulfilled destiny, adding your number of unchecked destiny boxes to the roll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
On a success, you don't lose control and take 1 + 1 forward. So
Yeah.
what would Ydelles, not the Autumn Night, but what would Ydelles do
Yeah.
under these circumstances?
Yep. I mean, right now, the Autumn Night is a concept. You are now embodying a concept.
Yeah, I feel like in this moment, especially when they touch hands, like a lot of the Autumn Night is faded or receded to the background, and a lot of Ydelles's features and mannerisms and whatnot is there. So I think what he would be afraid to do, which would be a very normal thing to do, would be to lose control and to act out his impulses, which might be a little violent, might be a little bit of damage around the house, might get drunk, might just be very unknightly, which for him would be bad.
Yeah.
There might be some swearing. There might be some threats. That he would regret all of these things very shortly after. Yeah, he might even go after a certain minister.
Oh yeah.
Who's visited.
You can be very dumb if you succumb to this, but go ahead.
Okay. All right. So
Roll plus unfulfilled destiny.
okay, so I think I have 3. No, yeah, 3. Come here. So plus 3. that. Okay. Okay, with my +3, I get a 10.
Nice. All right, great. Your heart to break. All right, so you keep it together, and you take +1 forward. So in your next roll, you get a +1
Okay.
to deal with this. You could conceivably have evoked your epic move as well, but I think you
Which
can
of my
parlay that.
love?
Oh wait, no, once per session. Never mind. Yeah, so you want to save that until you think it's appropriate. Yeah, I
I mean,
mean,
I
like,
haven't used it yet.
yeah, just
Yeah,
saying, okay.
I think here's given that he's able to kind of keep a lid on this.
Mm,
I think it is part of that, like, maturing, right? Realizing that he can't always just rush in and do the right thing or the good thing because he doesn't know everything, and he is hurting people and doing these things. So I think maybe what we see is he, instead of becoming kind of like sappy, like, I think he takes on this sort of like reserved knightly manner of courtly love, and I think he gives Aurora the most genuine um, sort of bow, salute, whatever, of of I honor you and goodbye until whatever.
and I think as a token for this, I think you will. Were you wearing gloves, or were you like barehanded?
I think when he reached out his hand, any kind of autumn night stuff receded, so you got to see his human hand again.
I think that human hand now has shimmer to it. You have a
Nice.
present of starlight on that hand, though. Only on that hand. Yeah.
They'll never wash this hand again.
Oh my god. Alrighty, great. Sir Granite, where do you go after you leave Sir Elio?
Where's the unicorn?
Well, that's a very good question. So I think 4 or more guards have like driven this big box, this big wagon through the manor house and out towards what look like stables, because they'd need a place for visitors or whatever, or like horses. And I think the Green Knight had used some horses at one point as well. But I mean, knowing that he had Vortimere as a guest, I mean, of course he's going to have some place to stick stuff. So I think there's like stables nearby, and perhaps like a big long barn kind of thing, long, like, long house kind of setup. So I think that's where they would have brought this wagon. And so, yeah, that's where it is. But this longhouse is made of wood. It is not stone beyond maybe the lower walls of the stable, kind of like the stabilizing features of the building. But I mean, yeah, the longhouse itself, where they probably drove this wagon, is probably all made of wood. What do you do?
Well, in absence of magic, I hit it with a sword. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Find a big rock about it.
I mean, it's not like somebody hasn't set up a bunch of cairns around the property.
No, but
So,
those are cairns.
okay, just saying. So, let's see. You want to activate your sorcery, I believe. Yeah. So, uh, describe the intended effect of your spell. You're going to throw a rock. Okay, great. You're going to choose a spell requirement from this list.
Is this really a spell roll? Am I really throwing a rock by magic?
I
Or am I just
mean,
picking it up and fucking hucking it?
like, if it's within your, I'm sure, human bounds of like picking up a rock. I mean, this isn't a big rock, I imagine. This is a
No, but it's like the size of a lifting stone.
okay, okay, okay. Got it.
I'm not hurling like the Indiana Jones boulder at this stable.
Okay.
I don't
I'm
think I
just
need to.
Hey, I'm asking, okay? Alrighty. So, yes, this would be hold on. Apply force. You would have to apply vigorous.
Right. That's plus vigor.
Yep.
Let us apply force. Which is good because that is a 6 on the dice. Plus 1.
Okay. Granite throwing a rock. All right, you succeed. Tell me how this looks before I make some misfortune for you.
Well, it's sort of a low squat with the proper form, lifting with the knees. And then a clean press over one shoulder, and then a running start and a hurling of said rock.
To break down the door?
Yes.
Okay. You break down the door successfully. Comes crashing down like off of its hinges. It's a solid door, but that's a solid rock too. So, yeah. But I'm going to say that you didn't realize that there were guards that were stationed inside this structure to protect the unicorn or, like, hold the unicorn. Maybe not in its wagon per se, but because they've developed like some sort of like cage structure in here. But I mean, like, there's the unicorn, but there's like 6 guys that are protecting it. What do you do?
Enter battle.
Oh, well, here's the thing. So battle looks like, and maybe I'm misunderstanding, but I'm pretty sure that I got this down. Like battle is like with one person, like not necessarily battling.
There's no way there isn't a deal with troops.
It's act heroically.
Ah.
Yeah. Or like, we can go with the agile moves and like, evade danger.
Nah, I'm busting up skulls.
Okay, so yeah, like act heroically, which is the catch-all. Yay. Let me just go ahead
I
and
have
get
sworn no oaths upon this land. I am not beholden to any sort of knightly code here.
okay. Uh, yeah. How do you address this problem? You're gonna roll with, I think in this case, vigor. If you're gonna take them out manually.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That is a 7 on the dice. Plus 1 for an 8.
Oh boy. Okay. So, 6 big burly dudes, of varying speed. Tell me how this battle scene looks. I mean, how this fight scene looks, and I'll tell you how I complicate your life.
I mean, I think it's as simple as I am a large dude and they are significantly smaller dudes. I rush in there fully armored, no sword, obviously, but honestly, in tight confines like a stable, a sword is really more of a hindrance than a help in most cases. So I'm going in full gauntleted fisticuffs.
Okay.
opening with a two-handed counter
Oh
and
man.
then just brawling it out.
Okay.
Are you
Well,
are you bringing up like rocks around your hands, like
Nope,
granite?
just
Nope,
punching.
just on yourself. Cool.
My hands have been rocks. Would not recommend.
Not easy to get dressed that way.
not easily to get dressed, no. Yeah, so I mean, like, you pummel and punch these guys or, bring them together, but I'm gonna say that in your melee of these guys, I think with the way it's configured, their horses were put into the stable, so they are just here in this particular place to house and protect the unicorn or to guard it. And I think when you're battling them, when you're tossing them about and such, I think yeah, I think somehow they bang into the cage or the confines, and the unicorn is able to get out. The unicorn uses its horn to futz around with, like, the last of its holdings and manages to escape out the back. So now you see the unicorn riding away.
Yeah, fuck it. I give chase.
Okay.
Is there a move for that? I recall there being a give
Make
chase
haste,
move.
I believe.
Yes.
That's an agile thing, yep. Roll plus agile, please.
That is a 9+1 for a 10.
Ooh. Gives chase. Get a 10. All right. We'll come back to you in a sec. Sir Elio, you are sitting there in your cell, being told to shut up. The parrot has kind of stayed silent after being, batted. But yeah, the guys are out there still dicing, still carding. What do you do?
So I will yell, well, not yell, but I will say, oh, you know what? No, forget that. I'm gonna take the sword.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna cut some hair, uh, do a little cut on my hand to get some blood. And in the keyholes of the shackles, I'm gonna put the hair and some, drip some drops of blood in, and I'm gonna prevail upon or call like roaches to come in, and they're gonna go into the hole and like break the lock from within.
Oh my God, that's amazing! I'll
Cool.
allow it because that's fun. All right, go for it. Yeah, prevail upon
Oh,
plus
but there's one thing I have to do before that.
what?
I'm gonna spend a point. I'm gonna mark destiny.
Okay.
I'm gonna I'm gonna abandon the quest for the stag
Oh
um,
wow.
that I had promised to Ydelles.
Okay.
I'm going to make a new quest that I say as a prayer that to the unicorn that I will save and protect it.
Okay.
All right. So, all right. Prevail upon is courteous. That's
Yes.
+1 +1 for the quest. All right. Let's see if this works. An 11 total.
Oof. Nice. Okay. You succeed in what you do. No misfortune. So tell me how this looks as the roaches come in and, like, fiddle faddle with the shackles.
Right. I think like there's like a really close up scene where it's just kind of gross, but the roaches are like eating the hair and blood, and they're moving around, and you see the mechanisms move, um, and and Elio is just sitting there patiently, and then you just hear a click, and then like he kind of like his eyes kind of open, and he drops the shackles. Shackles from his feet fall, and he grabs the sword. Um, can I break through this door, or is it too?
Oh, it's thick. It's a thick oak
All right.
door. Yeah.
I like I like what Adele wrote though, or what David wrote. I don't know if you saw that about the cell door.
The nature of I suggested anyways that under new management the cells only keep those who believe themselves to be guilty, including the door.
That's up to you. It's new management, and you got an 11, so I'll allow it. Sure.
And we see the awesome. Then we see the guards still out dicing away. The door just like kind of creaks open slowly, and I step out and slash, slash, slash. Um, uh, is this act heroically or is this
Yes, go ahead and act heroically since you're taking on these guys.
cool? A 10.
Oh my god.
All right. So yeah, I mean, I think only one of them gets as far as getting his sword. Um, the other three, I just kind of cut down. I kick the dice out of the way, uh, and I slash through them. And the last one who kind of has his sword out, I there's a few blows, and finally I just spin and catch him in the back. And he crumples. And I think as I walk past the parrot cage, I just like lash out with the sword and break the thing and keep walking, and then the parrot gets out and follows me.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, like you can hear him say clearly, "Ah, big fan, big fan." Ah!
Cool.
Okay. All right. So, Ydelle, I guess you at this point make your way down from. Oh, actually, you know what? Before you make your way down, I think you do hear the commotion from that particular side, and you probably even feel it too. Taking on the aspect of the autumn night, and I think you see the figure in starlight. I think you see the shape, the silhouette of the unicorn in its massive way, like break out from one end of the longhouse and starts running towards the forest.
Hmm.
And it's not a usual horse with just a horn, because this horn looks quite like not thick, but I mean it looks heavy. And so therefore this is like it's very equine form, but it's like kind of misshapen where it's like stronger but more live, and it's just got this very strange shape. So it almost glides away from your land or from your manor house and makes its way into the forest.
I
And
think.
then you
Go
see
ahead.
Sir Granit chasing after.
I've probably like initially thinking, oh, that must be Sir Elio, and then like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Yep.
Um. Okay. I think Adele would be very concerned about, unless I can feel it, what's going on in that cell
Hmm.
area
Yeah.
with Sir Elio.
Yeah.
Uh, to want to at least go visit him,
Sure.
if nothing else,
Yeah,
because I
absolutely.
think given the situation, I technically probably just can't let him go. But if he finds a way out, good for him. So I think he'd be heading down towards that area where they kept him.
Okay. Um, what do you think? Do you two want to meet? Do you think there's a scene of you two meeting after
Sure.
Sir Elio dispatches the guards?
Yeah, kind of like,
Maybe you hear the squawks of the parrot, like,
yeah, yeah, I love that. Yeah, the parrot and whatnot, and then maybe Sir Elio just comes rushing by, right? Are you like on your way in pursuit of the unicorn? Like, is that what's driving you, Sir Elio, or what?
you're on mute.
I think there's a moment where we kind of come at opposite ends and stop. And I will stop when I see you. Um, Maybe like in a hallway or so.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, maybe there's like a weird pause.
Is there a recognition that you are no longer on the other quest anymore?
Yeah, I think somehow you would know.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
um,
I mean, I think that there's this sort of nod and like not that you need permission, but just like go
I,
pursue.
I'm not-
And also, he would probably call after you and says, "And by the way, Sir Granit is already following after the unicorn," and like indicate the direction in which they were going.
I've run faster.
Oh man. Okay, so if you want to make haste, that's fine, or we could just fast forward to that. However, before we go chasing after the chasers, Idel, once you wish him well and let him go, what do you do next?
I think because Adele is still inside, and Adele is still a person that keeps their word, and doesn't look for trickery. Um, and so I think Adele, feeling the power of the autumn night, goes outside. It seems like his companions um, know what they're doing, right? They don't need him. They're doing it. He goes outside, and it's almost just like this quiet, separate story where he looks for the tracks of the stag, and then, assuming he finds them, I think summoning the power of nature, as it were, I think he gives a call to it, like to call it out to him so that they can meet and talk
Nice.
versus like pray.
I hold on. Let's see. What is
Mhm.
this? Okay. I'm going to say you can either use prevail upon
Mhm.
or act heroically as a catch-all, but I mean I think prevail upon seems a little
Prevail
bit like
upon
more
seems,
more
yeah,
appropriate. So when you
yeah,
charm or intimidate someone uncooperative, that's going to be uncooperative.
okay.
Give them a reason to cooperate, and then roll courteous, please.
So here's the thing. I think that both of my dilemmas would be activated at this point.
Good. Okay.
The one with Aurora because
Yes.
of what happened, and now the one with Elio giving up the quest. So I think I would use that dilemma as part of this.
Okay.
So what does that do again? Just gives me a +1,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have a +1 forward from before.
Yes.
All right, and then I have a +1 from courteous. All right, so +3 to my d6, 2d6. All right, let's see what we get. Ooh. I have a 9 plus 3, a 12.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right. So I'll give you a scene and a half a mo, but let's
Yeah.
let's chase after the chasers at the moment because this is fun. Um, yeah, Sir Sir Granit. Yeah, the behind of the unicorn is slowly drawing away from you as it glides its way into the forest in its way. So, what do you do?
I think at this point I notice that I am being chased by Sir Elio. Just sort of d- not give up my pursuit as such, but sort of give up my head start.
Do you stop and wait?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna whistle for my steed to appear. Um,
Almost in a blinking, you feel this rush of air, and you hear in your head, before you look to your side, I am here.
and um, and my need for you is great, and I'm gonna leap on the unicorn. We must follow,
Yes,
but
I saw.
pass along my companion first.
Wait, you
Uh,
do you leave Sir Granit in the dust? You don't even pick him up? What?
oh no, we're passing along, and I'm grabbing him and bringing him
Oh, oh, oh my goodness.
Oh. Oh.
Okay. All
Big
right.
strong man.
Man. Okay, great. No, okay. So first things first. Um, to make haste, you need to roll agile +2 because you have the gringole.
Cool. Do I get to add my regular bonuses as well, or
Well, you would add like your agile score plus
+2?
2, and then I
Okay.
think do you have a +1 forward as well hanging out?
+1 for the to get to the unicorn.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
All right,
Add all that fun stuff.
cool. Huh, with all that, I only got a 8.
You what? Wait,
I rolled
did you
two
roll
two.
a did you roll
You rolled
doubles?
it.
Did you
No,
roll?
I rolled two twos
Okay.
before, so then +4 would be an 8.
Okay. I was
Yeah.
but still.
Uh,
Oh
I
my
Look, we
know.
take those.
Yes. It's it's fine,
So
but I'm like, what?
+4, like
You guys make me
it's a lot,
laugh. I
but it's not too
swear to
much.
God. Oh my God. That is absolutely hilarious. Okay. Anyway, 8. I'm not gonna make this horrible because honestly, I think we're down to oh my God, what's happening? So I think as you're making haste, the gringole is like like doing its like it's literal like flying across the ground, and you're like you're like making to snatch Sir Granite to be behind you. I think you only have time to do like a quick snatch. He doesn't even have time to try and right himself. I think you sling him up behind you, and he's like in a fireman's carry on the gringole's back. Yeah. So
cool.
yeah, I mean, like Sir Granite. Hopefully, you don't get sick by watching the land go by quickly,
Mhm.
because that's what's happening. All right. So, yeah, and given this the initial success with making haste, I'm gonna say that you tell me what you do, what you see when you catch up to the unicorn.
Do you think it was leading us somewhere, Sir Elio?
Um, I don't think I answered, but I do think you see a moment of surprise on his face at the thought of it. I think we have like a long shot of the landscape and with the moonlight and the unicorn racing ahead like this bright figure through the mist, and then you see um Sir Elio on his uh supernatural steed following uh through the trees. Um is it leading us somewhere? um
Yeah, I mean it's been heading towards that spot where they are due to fight.
All
Remember,
right.
the Gringole said that this is the night of the full moon where they are
Right.
supposed to fight.
And so we're no longer on Ydelles' land, are we? Or are we?
At the very edge.
Ah.
At least that's where the unicorn seems to wait. It's almost like it's pacing. It's waiting for its rival.
Yeah, once it stops, I'll vault off the steed and run up to it. And I just kind of, kneel before it on one knee. Yeah, and kind of look into its eyes and get lost. And um, uh, there's you do not need to fight the stag. Please, come with me away from this call to battle. Let us let us explore greener lands where there is no bloodshed. Take me anywhere as long as I'm in your company. I will know heaven. And I don't know. That's what I say. I don't know if that counts as a prevail upon or.
Yeah, hmm. You see your friend do this, Sir Granit. What are you thinking? Well, actually, no. What happens? He vaults off the Gringole. The Gringole suddenly stops, and I think you just drop off of the Gringole. But you see
It's
him
not
do
even
this. You see
there.
him kneel on
Hmm.
the ground and say stuff.
I think at this point, like I'm just watching.
Okay.
I've lost too many friends already.
Anidel, you are there. The heart was on the way to this meeting place at the edge of the lands. And it hears you and turns. Tell me, what does this conversation look like?
So, are they actually in visible distance from each other? Or are they like
Oh yeah, you.
calling across the land? If they're in distance of each other, I think to others it might look like or sound like two animals calling back and forth.
Sure.
But I think for Idal, he's calling to someone that he respects, and he's speaking probably in some probably some like Celtic Druidic tongue or something that he's not aware of, and saying, "Tell me, why do you need to fight with the unicorn? What is this battle?"
It is as it always has been, human. Or else you are not. You are strange. You talk to me. You understand me. Or at least my speech.
I want to understand more, but does this battle need to continue?
Our battle has gone as a cycle. Prosperity. If it does not happen, the lands lie fallow. One of us needs to die. so the other may live. And we come back every year to do it again. We cannot be together. We must always be apart. And our blood gives life to the land.
If I may approach.
The great many horns lean towards you as if in assent.
Have you not dreamt of retiring from the field?
If we do not do this, there is no way to spill the blood honorably. We must battle. It is foretold. It is our fate to do this. Do you not have a fate that you follow?
I do, but I've learned that you can change your fate.
With consequence.
There's always a cost, as my friend Sir Granit reassures me of. I would wish to seek peace upon the land. Peace that knows replenishment and rest. Not to forget the sacrifices or the costs being made, but to grow from the bounty of that struggle.
Blood and toil. Man, not man. Our battle spills blood. Our draw brings ruin. And not battling at all brings great consequence. Can we walk away knowing that we have doomed others?
Could you not elect others in your stead?
The battle between the heart and the unicorn? Who would battle in our stead?
I know of many who would.
The heart raises their head. The horns are glistening in the moonlight, and they look away towards another shaft of moonlight somehow that looks like it's farther away, like beyond a crest of a hill. And I think you know from your senses, from your other senses, that beyond this crest is where you will find the unicorn. And you sense Sir Elio and Sir Granit are there.
Shall we join them?
There's like a little smile on their head. There's like a kind of like limpid eyes looking at you. Will you ride, or will you walk with me?
I will go the way of the wild.
I think I want to just let me ask you, because I know we're on a bit of a, you know, time crunch. So I want to leave time for stars and wishes, but I also want to leave this time, leave this scene here, and ask you all to give an epilogue of sorts. Where do you think, and it can happen right after this or in the future, where do you see your characters going or gone? How do you see this ending? If there's an end. If you want a couple of minutes to think about it, we could take a short break. I'll leave it up to you.
I have one thing
Mm-hmm.
for sure. That probably happens like right the last night for which the quest is due. Maybe the princess is in the castle and is kind of just maybe has forgotten about the quest even, and she's getting ready for bed and everything, and in the moonlight she's there's a shimmering sort of light through the fog, and I think what she sees down below is an image of the stag of the heart, and standing beside it is Ydelles, and he does his nightly bow, and perhaps the heart rears up, and then she goes to like tell her brother or someone else, and they get back and they're gone.
I think Sir Granit really doesn't care a whole lot about the unicorn or the stag or what is fated to or doesn't happen. No, there are more important things here, namely a friend in need. And the thing that friend needs more than anything, in Granit's very humble estimation, is someone by his side. So if the world is to continue on from this moment, I think that Granite will swear an oath to no lord higher than the Lord of Autumn.
So I don't know if this is what Dave was alluding to earlier, but maybe there's like a moment where the unicorn seems like it would, you know, would bestow Sir Elio's request, but then the stag appears in Adele, and once the fight begins, and if the unicorn seems in danger, Sir Elio will charge. I assume Adele will defend. Sir Granite will maybe make sure neither Adele nor Sir Elio kill the other. And I don't know, maybe that's a good time for the minister to appear. It's my thoughts.
I think I'm going to leave it open ended for that. The adventure is continuing, or the adventure is strangely adrift in some pathway of reality somewhere. Maybe the unicorn and the heart have battled to a draw. Maybe Ydelles and Elio have taken their place, at least for that one moment. And maybe there is an appearance to the princess of the heart that she so desired to see. And that and her vision of Ydelles is gone. And also, maybe, somewhere, Sir Granit speaks with the gnomes and serves his Lord Autumn to the best of his stony ability. And we can end our playthrough of Hearts of Camelot in that way. And I would love to hear some stars and wishes. Again, some stars for tonight's session or anything that's happened in the past sessions. Feedback about the game, anything, that's fine. And then, obviously wishes, since we're not continuing, would be if you have anything that you wished had happened that didn't. But
this is your chance to unleash your most
oh no. Cut off. Oh no.
I assume he's gonna say bizarre.
Yes. Yes. Oh dear. Oh no.
He's been silenced. Chris,
we
we lost
that
you.
Got caught. We got you just got
This
frozen
is your chance.
at bit.
This is your chance to unleash your.
That's where you froze. Oh
your
shit.
most unhinged fan fiction of what
Oh.
this game could have been.
Yes. That's great. Yeah, let's take these next few minutes to describe it.
That's what a wish is in the final session.
Sure. Okay, great. That sounds good. Whoever wants to start.
I just want to, of course, to Mads, thank you for a lovely game. Both of you, Chris and Rod, wow, great descriptions, great scenes, great moments. It just was floored. So thank you for bringing such Arthurian type storytelling to this game. I really appreciate it. It was lovely. And just giving into the romance, giving into the whole brotherliness, and it was great. And we got to see some violence too.
Violence.
I'm so glad that Sir Granit finally got a chance to be big and dumb and throw a rock at something.
That was wonderful.
That
was my stated intent, was a guy who didn't know he was magic. He just found it very easy to throw rocks at people.
Oh my god, that's
Obviously
so funny.
that fell away because I don't know, the way I played it was more fun.
Yeah, that's fine. It's perfectly
Me, at
fine.
least. Okay, stars, specifically, Mads, in addition to once again running a great, dramatic, wonderful finale. Thank you for involving the parrot. I love him. Love that he refuses to go away.
That's funny.
The real lord of this estate is that fucking bird.
I love it.
He will outlast all of us.
Oh my god. Yeah, I probably will. He's pretty long lived.
And we're all stupid knights on a stupid quest.
Oh my. What was your unhinged
stars
thought?
Oh, I got this idea at some point during this session that we might have resolved this by all rotating the mantle of the Green Knight and becoming the winter knight and the summer knight.
Oh,
I guess finding a spring knight. I think that might have been cool, but there are only 3 of us.
Oh my god.
I guess that's what winter is when the mantle lies barren.
Oh my god, that's amazing. That would have been cool to see too, but yeah. Love it. That's not unhinged. That's just beautiful.
Okay.
I I think there's an after credit scene
That's
where
fine.
I think there's an after credit scene where the minister just wakes up from in his room and the door is open and he steps out and just it's all dark and he hears the squawking of the parrot and he follows it through all these crazy rooms and then finally meets like a grisly end. I'm not sure what it was, what it would be.
He ends up in the hanging tree room.
I
Yeah.
think at least one of those knights was died as the result of betrayal through
That is
his actions,
that is very true.
and
That is
revenge is had.
because remember he was friends with Sir
Yeah,
Bertilac when
yeah,
Bertilac was so I mean it makes
yeah.
perfect sense that that is the
It
truth.
might
I
have
love
been
it.
one of the two that we buried even.
Yes. Yes, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, just so many really magical moments. So I thanks everyone here. That was just so much fun. It was a different type of fantasy I've you know really played before. And I love the whole thing with Aurora and and Adele. They I don't know that they can't be together as they were before. I'm glad Sir Granit got to throw a rock and help
Mhm.
help us out. Just that the choice to leave it open ended, and I can
Mhm.
imagine. I mean, that just gets you thinking. Like,
This brings us back to A24 Green Knight-ish movie.
Yay!
Yeah,
right?
but we're not sure. We're not
Also,
sure.
just a real like chivalric poem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
we
we
don't
don't
know.
have a complete manuscript.
Right,
Right.
Sorry.
right. We're not sure
Oh,
if the animals are fighting or the knights are fighting or if they're insane or who knows what's going on.
I think the post credit scene is like, of the illuminated script where you see the themes, the illustrations of the heart and the unicorn like interspersed
Mhm.
like at the capital letters and such, and then maybe like the drawings of the knights, and then like Vortimere like looking like sinister and stuff like that, and just like just a loving hand kind of like going down the page and reading the poem of your story. I think that's lovely.
Mhm.
So stars for all of that, like dealing with my bullshit, because yeah, I think there's even a picture of a parrot. Let's remember the
Oh
parrot.
yeah, yeah.
Gotta have the parrot. But yeah, I mean, like, thank you very much for being at my table and like, doing this playthrough with me, because I mean, again, like I, I played it once and enjoyed it so much. I'm like, oh, okay, let me see if I can run it. So this is closer to regular PBTA than I'm used to running. I did one small series of masks and that was it. And so like, just kind of like not total real structure, just a bunch of moves and a bunch of things that you guys can do, but I loved everybody's playing into their the chivalric romance, the the broness of it. I don't know how else to put it. I don't know the brotherhood. Yeah, the chivalric brotherhood of it. And then I mean, like Adele and his romance with Aurora and the love, and then Elio with like thinking on his questing, but then there's also love there as well. And then Granit, like even through the stony himbo-esque of him. I mean, like there's still that caring there for that one gnome that he reached out to in the loneliness, and I think
Yeah,
that was beautiful.
yeah.
So
Like
everything was very beautiful. I must say. I mean, like you guys did such a great job, especially like allowing me to leave it open ended, because I mean, again, given time crunch, like I'm glad we got to do this like sooner rather than later, and it was
I
I
am
loved it.
so sorry
No,
about
no. I
my
mean, if you're not
body and its various ailments.
psh, if
it's
you're not up to it, you ain't gonna be able to play, because then you would have been like, I don't know what's going on. It's fine.
Oh yeah, no, I was at like 15% for a
Yeah,
full 24
you
hours.
would not have been able to do this. Yeah, you would not have been able to do this beautifully if you were not well. First job. No worries. Okay.
Thank you all for finding the time to reschedule anyway. I'm really glad we got to end it at all.
Yes.
Mhm.
Thank you so
yes.
much. I mean, like this
Thank
was
you,
lovely.
everyone.
Oh my gosh. I mean, well, I mean, you all know. I mean, like in the various games that I've led you through. I mean, David, MK, and Rod like played in my playthrough of Dreamscape, which Dreamscape. I can't remember now. But
Dream
anyway,
Space.
I don't
Space,
remember
yeah.
because I kept on interchanging the two terms. But I mean, like you have to admit that was pretty wackadoodle, like and very surreality, which I think I'm gonna use that as my tagline. It's like I'm into surreality because that's what it
Mhm.
is. And Chris, of course, like in your playthrough of the Between, you know
I
how
do
how
this
wackadoodle
every
I can get.
fucking time.
I love
Every
it. I
time
love it. Love it.
I come up with a character with a complex series of like rules and internal consistency that you don't understand, that I never explain, and somehow you keep letting me do it.
It's fun. It's great. So don't want to keep you much longer than our cutoff time. So, and again, I appreciate you all. This was lovely. This is beautiful, and it was such a great experience to have this with you all. And I hope that um, if you just do decide to pick this up again, either to run or to play, I hope you have great experiences with it as well. All right. So,
And who's the designer again?
it's on Open Hearth. He's known as David A.R., I think, but his real name is Adrian Randall, or at least
Okay.
that's how he asked me to put him down because I
Okay.
believe he's Adrian Randall on Itch. So
Okay.
if you
Cool.
look at the episodes, if you look at the episodes that I've posted so far, it should have like a link to the Itch page because he's actually put this on there on his Itch page for like in development still, but I mean like here's a
Yeah.
working copy
I
of the
just want to make
character
sure
keeper.
he
Yeah.
got a call out for it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
no,
really enjoyed
absolutely.
it.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
David
everyone.
AR, Adrian. Thank you
Mm.
so much for this. This was wonderful. And this was a great playthrough. And yeah, appreciate this game. A hack of Hearts of Wulin in Arthurian style. So I think everybody did wonderfully.
See you all around.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So
See
have
ya.
a wonderful,
Bye.
wonderful night. And
You too.
yeah, happy gaming for anything that's coming up. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank
Too.
you.
Take
Thanks,
care.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.